We're now going to spend some time on finger exercises and picking. It's very important for you as a guitarist to have your right hand and left hand linked together with machine-like precision. You got to be able to really have dexterity in your left hand coupled with a really good picking technique. And I'm going to spend a few minutes and we're going to talk about building up your picking and fingering and building finger strength and dexterity and tying these hands together by doing finger exercises. Finger exercises are awesome. I use them before I play live. I use them when I'm warming up, and it's a great way to really improve not just your picking, it'll clean up your sound, and because we're going to be using these in conjunction with the muting technique we talked about in a previous module. So what we're going to do is we're going to be playing 4 notes per string, and for these finger exercises I want you to employ all strict alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All alternate picking, not economy picking and not all downs. You're going to be using strict alternate picking. We're going to get to economy picking in another segment, but for now you're going to go the furthest, the fastest just by using alternate picking. We're going to go with different patterns of your left hand fingering. And on your left hand, remember, your fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 on guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to be playing 4 notes per string. We're going to be playing every fret up until about the 12th fret. And you start these exercises slow, and then as you get more and more proficient of them, you build up the speed. At first, play them slow. If you haven't done these before, never substitute speed for clarity. The other thing is you should be playing these without any string pops and extra noises. They should be played clean. So use that muting technique where you're muting out all the notes you're not playing with your right and left hands as you're doing these. Okay? Download the booklet that came with this DVD, and it has a series of these exercises. I have lots of them written out for you. We're going to start. I'm just going to show you a couple of the examples, and then you're going to take it from there. These should be done every day. If you can rehearse every day and do them, 15 minutes a day is ultimate. And when you finish one exercise and you get to the end, don't stop there. Go back and repeat it, because these are strength builders. So you're going to be doing each one 2 to 4 times each. And believe me, these are invaluable. You're going to see your picking and your speed and clarity go through the roof if you do these religiously. Okay? Can I say religiously, Rob, on this DVD? I don't want to get too politically...
Be you. Politically. This is guitar.
That's right. Okay. I want to be politically correct. But so if you do these daily, you're going to see big results. So the first one we're going to do is we're just going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering. And you start, always going to start these on the low E string. We'll start this one on the F note. Okay, so here's the exercise you're going to be doing. And there's a stigma sometimes could get attached to these, like people say, oh, these are boring, finger exercises are boring. Finger exercises is, believe me, this is huge. If you just do these every day, you'll see how you'll progress in a month, 2 months, 3 months, and how much these will help. They are a little boring, but they get results, and that's what we're talking about. So your first one is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering. I'm going to play it very slow. And here's how you do it. You're going to take, and again, all alternate picked. Left hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go down to the next string. Okay? So we're down to the A string. Going down each string, 4 notes per string. Now, when I get to the high E, and I play those 4, the next note you jump to the next fret, 2nd fret, and you do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, but we're going up now. So, next fret, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you get again here, you go to the next fret. Same finger pattern. You're always going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4 with this exercise. Again, I'm using my right hand to mute on the way down and my left hand to mute out the high strings. You want to get 4 notes per string. Eventually you'll start picking up the speed. All 4 notes should be heard. You keep going till you get to your first finger on the 12th fret. Then you go all the way back to the beginning and you repeat it. You do it again. Because again, we want to build strength with this left hand. or your right hand if you're lefty. Now, at any time, if you feel pain, if you feel a real good burn in here, this part of your wrist, or if you feel pain in the hand or the wrist, I want you to stop. Take a break. Shake your hand out. Right? Maybe do some stretches on the guitar neck between fingers, like this. These are good stretches. Stretch out the distance between your fingers. Give it a rest, and then pick it up again. Okay? That was 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I can't say this enough. You have to play clean and slow. Once you get used to the exercise, put a metronome. Kick in on a quarter note, and you play 2 notes per beat. Play eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and you could keep bumping that metronome up as you get more and more proficient at these. Okay? So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering. The next one will be a 4, 3. I'm just going to give you a couple examples of these and you'll get the idea. The next one's going to be a 4, 3, 2, 1 fingering. So we're doing backwards. Okay, so we're going 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like this. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, when you get to the end of the high E, next fret. So I'm going to the 5th fret. But I'm always going with that pattern. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Always. Notice every note is clean. No string pops because I'm muting the strings. No unwanted noises. And slowly start building up your speed. Had a little stumble there. Right? So until you get all the way down to the first finger at the 12th fret. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't stop there. Repeat it. Do it again. You know, and keep 2 to 4 times each. Now, if you look in the book that goes on this DVD, you're going to see other patterns. 2, 3, 4, 1. You know, 3, 4, 2, 1. You know, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. And I make them go more and more, the difficulty gets harder and harder as you go along. So what I recommend is do 2 at a time. They're listed in pairs. And for a week, do the first 2, like 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4, 3, 2, 1. Every day. Something that I do a lot is I always have a guitar around. If you have multiple guitars, or if you're like my video engineer who has like 40 guitars. How many guitars do you have now?
45.
45 guitars, and you need those. You got to have 45, right? So if you have multiple guitars, what I do is I always have a guitar. If you have 1 or 2 guitars, don't put your guitar in the case and keep it in the closet. That's the worst thing you could do because then you got to go to the closet, you got to unpack it, you got to take it out. Oh, buy a guitar stand for $10 and have your guitar near you in whatever room you're in the most. Because you can do these, you don't have to sit there and plug in. You could do these as you're watching TV, when you're hanging out, unwinding after work or whatever. Just sit there and try to blow through a few of them. Up and back, up and back. When you're sitting at your computer, downloading something from the internet, right? Do your finger exercises. So while it's downloading, hopefully not porn. All right, maybe porn. Whatever. The point is, while you're sitting there and you're just kind of waiting, grab your guitar. Remember, it's right next to you. If you have a significant other and you have multiple guitars, leave a guitar at their house. This way, when you have downtime and you're over there, you can do some practicing. That's a really big thing, having a guitar around. Don't just stick it in the closet because you're not going to want to take it out every time. Get a stand, leave it there. Okay? The other thing, a few other things when you're doing these that are critical. Notice when I play my left-hand technique. Okay, left-hand technique is so important. My fingers are cupped. I'm on my fingertips. I'm on my fingertips. Okay, at all times. I'm not flattening my fingers out because then you're going to be hitting these other strings. Okay, fingertips with your wrist. My wrist is down. If you can get a tight shot of my wrist here, you can see I'm not doing this. I'm not lifting my thumb up over the neck and playing like this. The wrist is down. This is the correct way. Okay, my thumb is anchored in the back of the neck, but I'm not pushing hard. That would be very unnatural. So my arm, this is very natural. I've never had, been playing my whole life, I've never had any problems with wrist injuries or tendonitis or anything because I keep a real natural, my arm isn't up in my shoulder, very natural, on the fingertips. And when you're doing these, keep your fingers close to the fretboard. One finger per fret, and keep your fingers close to the fretboard at all times. Not here, way out of position, not so you got to work all the way back to the fretboard, okay? Keep your hands close to the fretboard. In fact, if you want to do what I call a walk-up, if you're having problems with your fingers being out of position, here's an exercise that I call a walk-up. You're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering, okay? Now you go to the next fret. Now, on the way up, you can't do this on the way down, but descending, when you're going up, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, your next note, play, but leave your other 3 fingers down on the guitar. Don't pick them up. Pretend that your fingers are glued to the guitar, like there's a magnet there. And holding your fingers down, and you're doing a walk-up, so it looks like this. See how my fingers are staying planted on the guitar? Did you get a shot of that? You see how my fingers do not leave as I'm not doing one note, taking my hand off, one note, taking my hand off. You leave your fingers down, and this will train you to stay in this position. I'm walking up. Now you can't do it when you're going down, but when you're going back up, leave those fingers down on the fingertips. Keep the fingernails short on your left hand. If you can press down on a solid surface, flat, like a table, and you feel your nail hit before the fingertip, your fingernails are too long. You don't want your nail hitting the back of the fretboard or the front of the fretboard. You don't want your fingernail hitting the fretboard before the fingertip. Okay, you're gonna hear some you won't be fretting some notes sometime when that's happening. So you want to keep your playing pure, right? So on your fingertips, left hand, and the thumb, I'm going to move my thumb up top just so you can see this. I play with it back here, but just so you can see it in this video. When I'm going down, as I'm going down, the thumb moves with the hand. As you're going down the fretboard, you see this? It's kind of like the wheels on a sliding screen door. It moves together. What you don't want to get in is the bad habit of this. Again, I'm just holding my thumb up so you can see it. You don't want to, as you're playing this, have your thumb trail. Okay? Because see what happens when that happens? Your wrist comes up and you get all out of whack. The thumb moves with the hand. A good measure or benchmark is keep your thumb about even with your second finger or between your first and second finger. That's fine. Not up here, not like a baseball bat, gripping it like that. Thumb is down and on your fingertips. Okay? So I want you to do these finger exercises. We're going to get into some isolation exercises in another segment and picking technique. And remember, everything is alternate picked. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Put a metronome to it, and you're going to see if you do all these different combinations, and they're going to get harder as you go down the list. So take them nice and slow at first. You're going to see you're picking your left and right hand. This is going to bring everything together, and it's really going to send your playing to the next level. So we'll see you in the next module.